The benefits of worry time. How scheduling a daily stress-free zone can help you live a happier life. What exactly is this worry time? If you have a habit of constantly worrying about different things, you might find it difficult to break the habit despite your best efforts. Because of the stress, it may be difficult for you to sleep, concentrate on your work, or take pleasure in your favorite pastimes. This is something that the worry time technique can assist with. According to Sabrina Romanoff, a clinical psychologist who teaches at Yeshiva University, the worry time technique entails scheduling a time during the day that is dedicated to worrying and allocating that time specifically for that purpose. According to Dr. Romanoff, the purpose of this technique, despite the fact that it may sound counterintuitive, is to assist you in reducing the amount of time you spend worrying about things that are outside of your control. The suggestion is that, rather than allowing your thoughts to wander throughout the day, you set aside a specific amount of time each day to focus on everything that is stressing you out, and then use the rest of the day to work on finding answers to problems that are under your control. This piece provides a rundown of some of the actions you can take to put this strategy into practice effectively, as well as a discussion of the advantages and drawbacks of planning worry time. How to make the most of your worry time schedule. Dr. Romanoff will now walk you through some steps that can assist you in effectively practicing this technique. Determine how much time you will need, and then set aside that amount of time for the task at hand. It is best to schedule somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes of worry time each day. You might find it helpful to keep a timer on you that will jolt you out of your anxious state once the allotted time has passed. Maintain a regular place and time for worrying. Choose an area of the day and a specific time of the day when you will worry. Decide on a location that is not very comfortable. Select a location such as a hard chair, a stair, or a bench that is not very comfortable so that you will not be tempted to sit there for a longer period of time than is permitted. You should try to avoid using your bed, couch, or desk for this purpose because you will start to associate those places with stress, which will make it more difficult for you to sleep, relax, or work there in the future. Opt for an evening slot if possible. Worry time should be scheduled for the evening, such as at 6 o'clock. When you schedule time to worry later in the day, you give yourself the opportunity to store up worries and keep them organized until that point in the day. On the other hand, it is still early enough in the evening that you have time to decompress and switch gears to an activity that is relaxing before going to bed. Postpone your worries as they come up throughout the day so that you can save them for your designated worry time. If you find yourself having anxious thoughts, the best thing to do is to write them down, and then review them when you have more time to worry about them. You can write down your concerns in a journal or on the note-taking app on your smartphone. Address your concerns. As you address each concern during worry time, ask yourself whether there is anything you can do about it. If there is nothing you can do, then acknowledge that there is no solution. If you are in a position to affect the outcome, you should consider writing down the solution and thinking about how you can work toward achieving it. If it is not within your power to change the situation, you should work on accepting it and letting it go. If you are having trouble letting go of something, it may be helpful to write it down on a piece of paper, then tear the paper up and throw it away after you have finished writing it. Give your attention to being productive throughout the day. After you have jotted down a worrying thought that has occurred to you during the course of the day, redirect your focus to something else by engaging in another activity, rather than ruminating on the worry that has occurred. Choose to engage in other activities that make you anxious, such as reading the news, during your worry time. You also have the option to engage in other activities that make you anxious during this time, such as reading the news. Transition out of worry time. One of the most challenging aspects of putting this technique into practice is learning to put an end to your worrying after the 15 to 30 minutes have passed. Having a transitional activity planned out to do when the worry timer goes off is one method of accomplishing this goal. You could prepare a meal, give a friend a call, watch an episode of your go-to show on television, read a book, go for a walk, or go for a run. The numerous advantages to organizing your worry time. In the following passage, Dr. Romanoff discusses some of the advantages of setting aside specific amounts of time each day to worry. Cut down on the amount of time you spend worrying. The worry time technique is designed to cut down on the amount of time spent fretting about external factors that are beyond one's ability to influence. The purpose of this exercise is to assist you in becoming more efficient by directing the time that would have been spent worrying toward activities that are more fruitful. Make yourself more efficient and focused on your goals. If you let stress and anxiety take control of your life, you may find that you are caught in a never-ending cycle of worry. You will be able to worry more productively if you use the worry time technique. The point is not to simply let your mind wander to all of the things that are worrying you, but rather to go through each worry and ask yourself, is there anything I can do to change this? Is it possible that I could solve this problem? If the answer is yes, then you should devise a plan of action and ensure that you hold yourself accountable for carrying it out. In the event that the response is no, work on accepting it and letting go. Take steps to mitigate the unhealthy effects of stress. Both your mental and physical health can be negatively impacted by stress. In addition to making you more aware, stress can also cause changes in your body's physiology, such as tightening of the muscles, and increased heart rate, and higher levels of sugar in the blood. It's not good for your health to be stressed out on a regular basis or for an extended period of time. Long-term stress can cause a variety of health problems, including the following: diabetes, obesity, unhealthy levels of blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, depression, anxiety, skin problems, menstrual issues. Reducing the amount of stress in your life can aid in preventing the aforementioned health conditions. The worry time technique has its share of limitations. According to Dr. Romanoff, individuals who have a habit of not practicing the technique in the correct manner may not be able to benefit from it. According to her, some of the behaviors listed below are examples of those that could reduce the effectiveness of this practice. Failing to devise a plan of action. Worry time is not simply an opportunity to dwell on one's concerns and become preoccupied with them. Instead, you should view it as a tool that can help you channel your energy in the most fruitful way possible in order to either find solutions to the things that cause you the most stress or learn to accept those things. If you fixate on the aspects of your worry that are beyond your control and do not take any steps to improve the situation, the worry time technique may have a limited impact on your ability to manage your anxiety. People's inability to hold themselves accountable for the action plan they develop to deal with their anxiety is another limitation. This occurs when individuals do not follow through on the plan they develop to deal with their anxiety. In the face of so much uncertainty, it's easy for even the most optimistic person to fall into a pattern of worry and stress that feels like it will never end. But as anybody who has ever faced these feelings before knows, this is not the end. You can get through this. And in order to do that, we need to focus on how we can combat our stress and worry by setting aside some time